Oh man, jeez.
You are so
Oh
funny.
my gosh. Hey, we're back. Oh, are we back on now?
We're back.
Flores and Friends, Schemmel from Dragon Ball Z is here. Now Sean, I'm going to say private conversations.
Sure.
You can pick whatever story you want, but have you ever had some strange experiences with the fans?
I think anybody who's in public life, has strange experiences with fans, especially ones who are inebriated. Which is, I've had guys come up. There's some conventions I go to, where they serve beer at the convention. Wow. A guy come with a beer.
Even the kids?
Well, they don't serve. Yeah, well, you'd think. But some of them looked a little too young. But I'm like, how did you get that beer? They'll offer me a drink sometimes, and sometimes I'll take a sip, just to be nice, and because I like beer sometimes. But sometimes, but weird things like asking me to sign things I probably shouldn't, or sign a birth certificate. They named their kid Goten, and they wanted me to sign a birth certificate. And I go, you do realize that my signature does not validate this birth certificate. I'm not a doctor. Like I cannot validate stuff like that. It's very surreal. I mean,
people trying to get citizenship by fake birth certificates.
That's true. And if I sign it, Goku says I can be here.
You get a call from the FBI.
Hey, stop signing those birth certificates.
What's going on?
Yeah, which is funny because my buddy John, his brother is an FBI agent, and he's a Dragon Ball Z. He came to get my line in Dallas Fan Expo, and I was like so geeked out that an FBI agent was in. I was talking about, these guys are an FBI agent.
Can I wear your badge?
It's so cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's a cooler job than mine.
I do have a friend who's an FBI agent, and the badges are so heavy you could throw it at somebody and kill them.
Maybe they have them heavy so that in case they get shot, it'll have one tiny spot you can protect a bullet. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. But
so
crazy stuff happens.
We were talking about that you're a musician.
I am, and I'm glad to be in this music hall in this lovely music building.
Yeah.
I was a classical music major in college, and I played professionally in orchestra as a French hornist for years. And I just started playing again, and I play electric guitar, but I'm really getting back into playing the horn. But I like playing the guitar, electric guitar, because French horn rocking is an oxymoron. Trust me, I've tried it, and it doesn't work when you put your mic in the bell and you're trying to do a distortion pedal, and you end up sounding like a really sick elephant. And so I bought a bunch of electric guitars so I could jam, and I'm terrible at it, but I'm better at French horn.
It looks cool when people come to the house and they see this array.
Oh yeah, I've got an array of guitars. I had a friend over last night, and he was like, he's a better guitarist than me. He's like, what do you got with these guitars? I'm like, I don't know which one I like. So I just kept them all. I don't know what I'm doing, so.
Yeah, so they say, can you play something? And you're like, my hands.
I'll play like
my hands
power chord. Yeah, that's it. Let him play them.
Distortion pedals make anyone sound cool.
Oh yeah, totally, except for French. So yeah, I've been playing that, and and I might start teaching here locally. There's like a local musician who I was at a gig the other night, and he's like, how would you like to teach some French horn again? I go, I did teach for 7 years, so I might be interested. And of course, I might have to learn Kamehameha on my horn or something. I don't know. That'd be totally weird.
Just in case DBZ doesn't work out.
Doesn't work out. I might fall back on French horn.
Fall back. Smart. So I know that I was wondering, in Goku's voice, could you tell me what do you think about the presidential climate today?
Goku is so clueless. He'd be like, "What's a Trump?" Like he wouldn't even know what. Like he doesn't even understand what that means. I don't know. That guy looks like he's lying, but she's lying too. Everybody's lying.
Yeah.
I don't trust these liars. I'll just blow him up. Like he would just
take care of business.
Take care of business. There's no. If Goku existed, there wouldn't even be an ISIS. He was like, okay, guys, you have to stop being mean or I'll destroy you all.
You're gone.
And then you just blast them with energy and they're dead.
Yeah. So you've been full-time as an ADR director, a script writer, and that kind of. What kind of world is that?
I was an ADR director for 3 years, full-time at NYV Post, which is owned by Michael Sandra Nicholas, who's the voice of Dean Venture, and he's the voice of Leonardo in the previous incarnation of Ninja Turtles. So he's a talented and accomplished voice actor in his own right. And you know what? He did some, and this is advice maybe some young people interested in getting in media. A couple of key things I did to improve my skill set. When I moved to New York, I wanted to be a producer as well as a voice actor. And I met Michael at a convention, and I said, hey, I want to work for you, and I want to be a producer. And he goes, I don't need a producer, I need a director. And I go, I want to be a director. I just immediately changed it. And he goes, okay, well, all right, I'll get you a show. I need to build my studio up, and I think you're a talented guy, and so I'll let you direct a show. So here's what he did. He just got a show and then just handed me a script and said, okay, rewrite this to fit the flap. And he goes, I'll get you an engineer for your recording sessions. I go, no, I don't want an engineer. I want to learn it all myself.
Wow.
And so I insisted on learning it all myself and insisted on doing everything myself for the express purpose of having a wider variety of a skill set to be in this industry. Because you know, the wider skill set you have, if I'm not voice acting one day, I can go direct a show. I can engineer a session. I can write a script. And I got thrown into the trenches to do it. So you just like, here's a computer, just go. And my first show, you know, kind of sucked. But I got better and better, and I paid attention to other people, and I paid attention to other people's work.
Yeah.
And eventually, if someone hands me a Japanese anime in dub, and they've got a loose script, and they say, cast this, make this happen, direct it, record it, engineer it, and mix it, and be in it, I can do all of it. There were times I was up at 3 in the morning controlling the computer remotely, doing fill-in voices. I would never cast myself on a show.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that, but only if I absolutely had to.
Right.
And so it was a great, so for those of you who are interested in doing in media and production, you know, you're focused on your one thing, say you're focused on editing, you make buddies with the audio engineer, pick his brain, pick that person's brain, or anything you can do to increase your skill set is going to be, you know, huge. Even years from now, I may want to just settle into directing and not act anymore. I may just want to be. Sometimes I thought about quitting and being an audio engineer. I love audio engineering. It's so much
really
fun.
cool. Yeah,
so there's
fun.
there's so many different. And people, and another piece of advice I would have is like when people want to get in the industry and then like, well, I spend 40 hours a week at my job waiting tables and then I go do this thing on the side. I'm like, no. If you want to be an actor, get a job doing crap work at the studio. Like, for example, Justin Cook, who's the head of production for Funimation. He was the voice of Yu Yu Hakusho, and he was a construction worker, and they threw him on as an engineer just to run the board, and then he became the director of Yu Yu Hakusho. Now he's the head of production because he was doing all this other stuff up until that point. My point is that if your day job is at the place where you eventually want to work, you're going to have connections there. You're going to have a knowledge coming by you, or knowledge you're bumping into, or people you're talking to, or friends or connections. And so you can always expand your horizons instead of spending so many hours a week at a job you're never going to do. Just be Joe Blow's assistant, or be the coffee runner, or do whatever, or be around it, and you will eventually, I believe, if you have talent, intelligence, and enough emotional intelligence to not piss off anybody, which I'm bad at.
You pissed me off a couple times already today.
I'm terrible. I know I talk a mile a minute. I'm sorry I talk so much, but I do. That's why the questions. I was like, it's okay. I'm done to talk too much. It's going to be crazy. So anyway, that's kind of how my career has gone in this very kind of forced trial by fire, that I put upon myself in a way. I don't do well in classes.
Really?
I tend to learn on my own much better.
So you're better as a teacher.
I teach well, and I teach myself well. I don't. Depending on the class, I typically don't do well in classes unless it's one of those classes where I get a lot of personal freedom. If it's structured, my head's gonna explode.
So you failed the Don LaFontaine class?
I never took that class. I don't think I could do that voice. I know. Yeah,
it's incredible.
World. I mean, that guy's voice is just magic. I'm hoping to age in.
World.
All his voice guys is if we just smoke and drink a lot, we'll just age into Don LaFontaine.
Yeah.
By the time we're 80, we'll be like,
You and I will probably die because we don't usually do that.
Oh yeah. And I don't understand these guys like smoke and drink. I'm 85 and I go, why are you not dead? I don't know. The alcohol keeps me alive. It preserves my body. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't get
but
it.
it's amazing.
My grandpa lived till great-grandpa lived till 99.
I bet he was smoking and drinking.
He was smoking and drinking, doing cigars and stuff in the backyard. And we go out there as kids, and he wasn't supposed to be smoking cigars, but he'd throw it away real quick and throw it in the dirt, And
he'd dig it up later.
Yeah, he'd dig it up later, Some expensive cigars, man.
I bet.
Yeah, so crazy. So what would you say? I know you talk about Deb Derryberry.
Oh, Debbie Derryberry.
Yeah.
She's a dear friend. In fact,
Yes.
I would say that Debbie Derryberry is the reason I'm in LA because I tend to run my career. I didn't have an agent until I got with Arlene Thornton Associates here in LA. It was magical. I tend to just kind of focus on the work and focus on what I'm doing, and I don't pay attention to anything else. And so I was living in Philadelphia briefly because I just moved in there with my girlfriend, and I'd been working in New York for 10 years, and I saw Debbie at a convention. The first time I saw her was 10 years before that, and we became friends. But you kind of stay loosely in touch. Then she said, Sean, I was signing autographs next to her at a convention in Australia, and I had a very good line, and she was impressed with that. She was like, what are you doing in New York, and being non-union and not making any money and signing your autograph for free? And I'm like, I don't know, that's what I've been doing, And she's like, you need to come to LA, join the union, make a bunch of money, and live happily ever after. And I'm like, okay, and that's what I did. And I've been here 3 years, and a few months after I got here, I got Taft Hartley'd into a show that was directed by some Simpsons producers that was on Shut Up Cartoons. It was a very small cartoon. I wish it had done better. And I joined the union and have been working on various video games and projects here in LA. and still doing the convention circuit, all because of Debbie Derryberry. So she's a dear friend.
And she has voice classes,
She has
right?
voice classes, and you were asking me in your question, I saw the questions beforehand just to kind of wrap my head around.
Who gave you those?
The guy sent me.
Somebody sent you
sent me
questions?
questions,
Oh,
yeah. They should have sent it. Well, I wanted to kind of wrap my head around.
That's nice.
Well, I appreciate it. And because I'll talk too much. And I've never, to be honest, I've never been to one of her classes. I've just seen her work before.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And I think she's
while you're on the panel with you, go, hey, Dev, can you tell me some stuff? You know,
oh, yeah.
free advice.
Oh yeah, she's a font of wisdom, and she's very she has a very high energy spirit and a very positive motivator. And I've seen some of her students go on to get professional jobs. So and she's the voice of Jimmy Neutron, and the Alka-Seltzer Kid for a while. And she just got a new job as the voice of the character that comes with the Oculus Rift. She's that voice, that main character that I forgot what it's called, but it's a big gig.
I love the Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron, yeah.
Sean?
Yes.
I enjoy you having you.
Sorry,
here,
I've
and
talked
we're
so
having
much.
such a good time. We got to go for now.
Yes, that's
yes,
okay.
Sean Schemmel.
Thank you,
Flores
guys.
and Friends.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, man. Pleasure.